Silent Souls, Chapter 1. Katsune's breath lies still, the faint beat of her heart the only noise in the room. A commotion outside in the hall that is impossible to ignore shakes her bedframe. It is young Chanjuko, fallen onto the door, revealing Katsune's room to all the other residents of her building. Humiliated, Chanjuko lifts his head from the floor and blushes to see he did this in front of an unfamiliar girl, very beautiful to him in her own unique way.
I am very humiliated, Chanjuko admits to her. I will make sure this does not happen again. I will leave now.
Chanjuko steps back slowly and notices Katsune's nonchalant reaction to his incident. Regaining his confidence and his balance, Chanjuko gains a firmer stance and brings himself to stand up straight.
Heh,
laughs Chanjuko.
I can be such a fool sometimes. I am told I get that from my father.
Chanjuko's father, as a matter of fact, was not a clumsy man. Rather, a very well-respected member of the city council in charge of beautifying the already beautiful city of Tokyo. Attracted to the calm atmosphere given from Katsune's outward appearance, Chanjuko gave a shaky but warm smile and slowly approached her bedside, sitting down on the chair sitting next to it.
Your necklace is very beautiful.
Katsune was not wearing a necklace.
Hello, my name is Chanjuko. What is yours?
Noticing the nameplate next to her bed, he read with difficulty the name Katsune Eragata, bolded in black.
You know, my kitten was named Katsune. Let us hope you do not bite like she does. Ha!
No response from Katsune. Chanjuko continues.
I was shy like you in elementary school, and then I started dancing and became more comfortable with myself and made many friends. But it is okay to be shy. I like shy people. You don't have to be so nervous around me.
Chanjuko still struggles to make friends. The alarm on Chanjuko's wristwatch interrupts him and lets him know it is time for him to leave and go home to study for school and do homework.
Oh my goodness, it is time for me to leave. I must go home to study for school and do homework,
Chanjuko informs Katsune. Chanjuko turns around to leave and falls, dropping his books onto the floor. Too ashamed to pick them up, he makes his way towards the exit until he turns around and notices what he perceives to be a glum look on Katsune's face.
This was fun, you know. I hope we could do this again.
Katsune stares into the ceiling.
Really? Tomorrow then? Okay, I already have studying and homework to do, but I can make it so that I can fit this into my schedule. I cannot wait to see you!
The thought of his first date with a girl was overwhelming to young Chanjuko, who has never talked to a girl before.
See you soon, Katsune!
Chanjuko yelped as he finally left the facility, pumping his fist once into the air with joy and excitement. Finally saving the excitement of his recent encounter, Chanjuko warmly melts into his bus seat and reflects on his conversation with Katsune the entire ride home and after. Chapter 2.
Father, I have made a friend, and this time she is a girl.
Oh?
Yes, her name is Katsune Aragata, and she is shy like I used to be.
Your dinner is in your room. Chanjuko pauses, stares outside his window, his dinner blown cold by the gentle breeze. He has not touched it since he got home. All he can think about is his dear Katsune, her subtle majesty dominating his thoughts since their encounter 3 hours ago. He punches the wall.
Every minute without you is killing me. I am in agony.
Torn apart by his present loneliness, he falls to his bed, crying. As the tears begin to subside, Chanjuko manages to collect himself enough to make his way to his dresser. He observes his image in the mirror. He notices he is alone.
Why can you not be here by my side all the time? My life is meaningless without you.
Visibly distraught by the lack of Katsune's presence, he begins to draw. Hands burning with passion, Chanjuko takes a loose piece of parchment and, using as much precision as he can, draws an image of Katsune as accurately as he can, using as much detail as he possibly can, even including the nameplate on the side of her bed.
This will do,
Chanjuko half-heartedly assures himself. He takes the parchment and wraps it around himself, the parchment the only covering on him as he lies on his bed and falls asleep.
I cannot have you now, but I can have you in my dreams,
he whispers, as he takes his last awake breath. He does not study, nor does he do his homework. Chapter 3. The sun rises as Chanjuko rises, dripping in sweat from the sheer intensity of his dreams.
I cannot wait to see you today, Katsune.
He means this, as he does not wait and carries his shoes to the bus stop, only to put them on as the bus arrives. 4564 Cienso Street. This is the place. Chonjuko's mind brims with excitement at his touch of the front doorknob. He runs up the stairs to a room, overjoyed like a kitten, seeing his owner after a long day of work. Alas, he makes it. The mere sight of her door is enough to fill Chonjuko's eyes with tears.
You do not know how much I have missed you,
Chonjuko practices to himself before he opens her door. He opens the door.
You do not know how much
Chonjuko chokes on his words, as he cannot contain how nervous he is. He is afraid to let Katsune know his true feelings for her, but he knows he will not be able to contain them for long.
I just wanted to speak to you again.
Chonjuko's wristwatch beeps twice.
Gosh darn,
He mutters under his breath.
I am so sorry, but it is time I must go to school, Katsune.
Katsune is unfazed by this revelation. Chonjuko runs out of the room, realizes he is going to be late to school. Chonjuko rushes into his classroom. Everybody stares at him. Where's your homework, Chonjuko-san? Requests Chonjuko's teacher, Miss Gejneji. And while you get it out, get ready for that test you should have studied for.
I am afraid I did not do the homework for today, Miss Gejneji.
And why is that?
I am afraid I fell in love with the beautiful woman, Miss Gejneji.
You are too young for love, Chonjuko. I'm failing you for the homework, and whatever you score on the test is what you will get. No exceptions.
Yes, sensei.
Chonjuko did not care about his failed exam, nor his failed homework. All he had was Katsune, and that was all that mattered to him.
I am so in love with my girlfriend Katsune,
Chonjuko says to his lunch table.
She is all that matters to me in the world right now.
Looking as if he was talking to somebody, the tables around him take notice and stop eating their lunch to stare at Chonjuko as he holds a conversation with nobody at a table all by himself.
Yeah, she is very pretty and beautiful,
He continues.
There's nobody else in the world I would rather be in love with.
Being a boy of moderate sensibility and compassion, Shincheru, Chonjuko's older classmate, approaches Chonjuko's table and sits across from him. Do you know you are talking to yourself, Chonjuko? Broaches Shincheru.
Why do you come to my table to shame me, Shincheru?
Replies Chonjuko.
Are you just jealous of my Katsune?
No, I am certain that she is very beautiful. But the fact that you are talking to yourself is making the people around you feel afraid. Do you not notice the glares they give to you as you speak words to a person that is not even there?
I get it. You want to take Katsune away from me for yourself,
says Chonjuko, rolling up his sleeves.
I will not stand to be humiliated by a peasant such as you. You will fight me now in the name of Katsune, and you will not turn down my offer.
By the end of his sentence, Shincheru has been returned to his table for about 2 minutes and has already stopped listening.
I always knew you were a coward,
mutters Chonjuko. Chonjuko resumes his conversation. Chapter 4.
Soy sauce, check. Sushi, check. Ramen, check.
Chonjuko checks off his shopping list, one by one. He is preparing for a fancy dinner with Katsune tonight. He is very hungry because he has not eaten since he first met Katsune yesterday evening.
I want everything to be perfect. I will not let anything go wrong in any way. For Katsune.
Nearing the end of his list, he runs out of cash to pay for his final item. Chicken soup. He presents the chicken soup and tells the cashier bluntly,
I do not have money for this. I am taking this.
The cashier, already irritated that day, grabs the soup from Chonjuko's hand and takes the money he does have for the rest of the goods. You have enough for this bottle of soy sauce, states the cashier.
But I have a dinner with my girlfriend Katsune,
replies Chonjuko. Why should I care about your date, little boy? For all I know, she is your imaginary friend.
She is not imaginary, and I am asking to leave this facility right this instant,
demands Chonjuko. You have no authority over me. You are just a child. I'm calling a guard over here to escort you out right this instant. The nearby security guard effortlessly grabs Chonjuko's 2 arms and apathetically drags him outside the automatic supermarket doors.
Everybody tries to keep us apart and they're always jealous, but the only thing that separates us is the difference between our feet,
Chonjuko proclaims boldly. The guard walks away, the automatic supermarket doors closing on their own behind him. Chonjuko looks on, his anger beginning to circulate throughout his body, along with his blood flow. Chonjuko storms back into the store towards the guard, spouting indecipherable angry gibberish at his general direction, unwittingly clueless as to what he's trying to accomplish or what his true intentions are. The guard coolly extends his arm out and fronts his hand towards Chanjuko's forehead. Chanjuko fails to see this and continues to walk into it, his feet sliding on the ground once he makes contact with the guard's hand. Chanjuko fails to notice this and keeps this up, continuing his charge for the foreseeable duration. The guard, unbothered by this, reaches his other arm into his pocket and takes out a stick of spearmint bubblegum, putting it into his mouth. The mint of this gum is strong, but the guard is used to it by now, as he has already gone through half of this pack already. Re-emerging from his anger, Chanjuko realizes he has forgotten his true intention, Katsune's dinner. Chanjuko backs away from the hand, still not realizing it was there, and sprints outside of the store in the direction of Katsune's building. Chapter 5.
Your love to me is like the flowers and the birds. Every day I dream of you. You are the candle to my wax.
Chanjuko frolics through a nearby meadow on his way to Katsune, openly singing a song as if oblivious to the non-human screeches coming out of his mouth. Chanjuko temporarily ceases his frolicking to pick up a dandelion from the ground. His right hand shakes out of excitement as he lifts the flower up to his head. He ponders the levels of excitement Katsune will have upon seeing him, and his left hand starts shaking too. A short time after resuming his frolicking, Chanjuko makes it to the front of the building and puts his hand into his left pocket in order to have the dandelion ready to present to Katsune. He finds it is not there.
No, this is not true. I did not lose this daisy on the way to here,
says Chanjuko to the door. Chanjuko panics and frustratingly clenches his heart to symbolically keep his heart from bumping out of his chest. His heart stops for half a second.
Oh, it was in my shirt pocket this entire time. How silly of me,
remarks Chanjuko. Chanjuko walks into the building and up to Katsune's room. He breaches the door to come across Katsune lying on her bed.
Hello, my beloved Katsune. I feel so sorry for making you wait so very long,
Chanjuko admits to Katsune.
I nearly lost something so special that I got for you.
The flower by now is slick from the nervous sweat that has been culminating on Chanjuko's hand. You can tell he has struggled to grasp it properly, as the flower is bent in multiple places along its stem. Chanjuko brings the flower up to Katsune's face. Tears run down Chanjuko's cheeks.
I thought I wasn't going to make it to you today,
stammers Chanjuko. He pauses to look the tears running down his mouth.
Someone tried to separate us. They do not think we belong together.
He gazes down on Katsune's soothed, closed eyes.
We know better than they do. They cannot be enough to keep making us be apart.
Katsune lies still. Lost in awe from her perceived beauty, the flower slips out of Chanjuko's hands.
I can be such a fool sometimes.
It is when Chanjuko leans down to pick it up, he falls and hits his head against the metal railing on the side of Katsune's bed, making a resounding ting when he makes contact. He does not pay attention to the throbbing of his head and continues his speech at Katsune.
Every day I get up, it is love for you. I have something special that I got for Katsune.
Chanjuko reaches into his shirt pocket for his flower. He finds it is not there. A renewed sense of panic overwhelms him as he repeatedly checks his shirt pockets with both hands for the flower.
I cannot find it with my left hand. I shall try it with my right now.
Chanjuko reaches into his pocket with his right hand. This fails to work, as the flower did not appear once he reached in with it.
I will try both hands together.
Both of Chanjuko's hands did not fit inside his pocket, for their combined mass was too large for his hand-sized pocket. A desperate fit of determination ensues.
I must make it fit!
Chanjuko tries harder and harder to make both hands fit in his pocket, but it is no use, as the fabric of his shirt is made out of a non-stretched linen cotton blend, chosen for him by his father specifically so that Chanjuko cannot get both of his hands stuck inside his shirt pocket again.
I will reach both of my hands inside the shirt pocket if it is the last action I take for my love of my life, Katsune.
With a final push of force, Chanjuko put both of his hands together and performs an action that is akin to the action of punching oneself in the chest. The loosened stitching of the pocket managed to tear and fall completely off of his shirt. Chanjuko fell too. He begins to sniffle.
My flower,
he whimpers to himself, holding the torn pocket up to his face.
It is gone forever. I will never have it now. I I am sorry, Katsune. I will never forgive myself for this.
Disappointed in himself, he rolls his head in shame to the right, directing his face toward the spot where the flower was dropped a few moments ago.
The flower! It has appeared to me!
Chonjuko's excitement overwhelms him, as now he realizes he could take the flower from off the ground and give it to Katsune.
I can take the flower off the ground and give it to Katsune!
Chonjuko proclaims. He attempts to reach for it, but he finds he is not able to move his arms.
My hands! Why do they not move?
Ponders Chonjuko.
They are stuck?
Chonjuko is still holding onto the shirt pocket, and he is not able to figure out how to let it go.
The shirt pocket! I cannot get my hands out of it!
Chonjuko's mind disorients itself, as this was a challenge he has not foreseen before today.
Katsune!
Chonjuko flails his hands back and forth, still holding onto the shirt pocket, in an apparently futile attempt to free his hands to be able to take the flower off of the ground to give it to Katsune. He rattles his hands to the point where he gets sleepy, and he falls asleep on the floor, hands attached to his shirt pocket. Chapter 6. Chonjuko wakes up. He is confused. The shirt pocket is gone.
The shirt pocket is gone! How is this possible?
Chonjuko decides to look around, and notices he is not in Katsune's room anymore.
This is not Katsune's room anymore. I know this because I know every little detail of it. The walls that are right. The window you are able to see out of. The floor that is hard. None of that is here.
Chonjuko decides to get up and look around, searching for any indicator of where he might be. He rotates his head enough to see that he's in his room, which he had forgotten he had when he saw Katsune again. The mere thought of Katsune is enough to completely confuse and disorientate Chonjuko. The sight of her would be overwhelming to his emotional integrity if he was not prepared, which in this case he was not.
I need to go downstairs to see what has happened to me and what happened to Katsune to make sure she is safe.
Chonjuko goes downstairs and catches his father putting on his suit jacket to start his day of work as a respected member of Tokyo City Council. He turns around. What is the problem with you, boy? A nurse from the nearby hospital found you passed out in some innocent young girl's room and brought you in here when I was not home. She spent 40 minutes waiting for me to return from my work with you in her car. You are lucky she took care of you and brought you here, or else I may have called the police to look for you.
Father, you do not understand. Katsune loves me as much as I have feelings for her. We are inseparable, like two halves of a table,
responds Chonjuko. I do not know who this Katsune is, nor do I care. All I know is that she is a bad influence on your behavior, and I want you to stay away from her from now on. From what I have been told, you are a complete stranger to her, and she has no idea of who you are, decrees Chonjuko's father.
I cannot listen to you any longer. Your words do not make sense to the inside of my ears. I am not related to you, and I am running away,
screeches Chonjuko as he runs upstairs to his room. Chonjuko slams the door shut as he reaches into his dresser to pull out his drawing of Katsune.
If they do not want us to be together, they cannot do their best to keep us apart.
He stares at the picture. He absorbs its image. It is seared into his mind.
This image is seared into my mind. We cannot be kept apart.
Keeping the image in front of his face, Chonjuko grabs some tape, which he mainly uses for paper planes and school projects whenever they come around. He rips apart a long strip about the size of a ruler and puts it around the drawing. He then puts the drawing around his face.
Oh, it is so pleasant to see you here, Katsune,
Chonjuko said, as if he was surprised to see Katsune there.
Let us go take a walk now.
Chonjuko takes a step forward, but as the drawing of Katsune is in his way, he is not able to see ahead and bumps into the wall in his room.
I am sorry, sir, but you are in my way. Will you please excuse me and step out of my way, please?
The wall remains.
Sir, I may be young, but I have a lot of experience. It is polite to step out of the way when asked to out in the streets.
Chonjuko walks harder.
This is very impolite of you. If you not get out of my way right now, I will push you to the side so my girlfriend Katsune and I can get to where we want to be at.
Chonjuko's patience has run thin, and he pushes the wall. Given the immobile state of the wall, Chonjuko ends up falling to the ground from the force of his own push. The fall ripped off one side of the drawing of Katsune from Chonjuko's face, revealing his left eye. Chonjuko gets up.
Ah, I made it to my room. Finally.
A satisfied Chonjuko removes the other side of tape from his face and puts the drawing back onto the dresser.
We made it here already. You can go home now, Katsune. It was very fun, but I am very tired. I hope we can do this again soon. I hate to not be around you.
Chonjuko closes the dresser. Chapter 7. Chonjuko wakes up to go to school and immediately runs out the door to make it to the bus on time.
I am in a hurry, father. I cannot eat breakfast or do my hair very well today. I do not wish to be late for the bus.
Chonjuko shows up at his bus stop 25 minutes before the bus was scheduled to arrive. His school is actually 3 blocks away from his house, but his father worries he will get lost along the way and has him go to the bus stop instead, which is only 1.5 blocks away. Chonjuko's bus fares are waived by his father's position in Tokyo City Council, so being able to afford the bus is no worry to him. Chonjuko arrives at school, and before his first class, he visits his locker to pick up some books and binders full of notes and homework for the day.
I will be needing this, but Katsune will be needing me more after I've been away from her for so long,
says Chonjuko. He hauls his books and binders to his first class and sits near the front row. Miss Gajnerji, his teacher, gives the class a lecture on the history of the samurai in Japan. Chonjuko raises his hand.
Miss Gajnerji, I must be excused.
For what reason is this, Chonjuko?
I need to be by the side of my Katsune. I am lost without her to be next to me.
Katsune can wait. This is not important and is definitely not an emergency. I'm afraid she will have to wait until the end of class. Chonjuko disregards her, as if nothing has happened. He lowers his hand and goes back to flipping pages in his empty notebook, muttering to himself, a habit he has been practicing for most of his school career. Noticing Chonjuko's absence from the class, Miss Gajnerji calls upon Chonjuko.
Chonjuko, what type of jutsu did the emperor make the samurai practice for the later half of the 17th century?
I am sorry, but that does not concern me,
replies Chonjuko.
I have to excuse myself from class right now.
Chonjuko, if you leave now, then I'll have to give you a school suspension for the next 3 days.
I will be fine,
says Chonjuko as he gets up from his seat.
My girlfriend Katsune needs me. I will come for my books and binders once I return. Farewell.
Moving on from Chonjuko's disturbance, Miss Gajnerji asks,
Shinshuru, can you please tell me what type of jutsu the emperor made the samurai practice in the later half of the 17th century?
Chonjuko leaves the classroom and then leaves the school, heading for Katsune's building.
I could not wait to see you, Katsune, so I am leaving school to go to you.
Chonjuko frolics across the sidewalk till he makes it to the building, nearly getting stuck through its front doors. He wanders through its halls and stairs, eventually making it to Katsune's room.
Konnichi, what?
Yells Chonjuko as he rushes towards the bed, realizing it is empty.
Where's Katsune?
A voice comes out from behind Chonjuko.
So, you must be the one who snuck into Katsune's room.
What did you do with Katsune?
You should know that Katsune is not here anymore.
You keep her away from me. I will keep you away from here. Show yourself unless you are a coward like you sound.
The woman behind the voice was already standing in front of him.
You must be Chonjuko, son of the respected city councilman. I was told you might have shown up here. I guess I cannot force you to do anything, but I recommend you leave here out of respect for Katsune and I.
I will not bring myself to respect someone who tries to keep separate my love Katsune and I very greatly. You do not know her as I do.
The woman responds.
I am Akiko Arigata. I am Katsune's sister. I have known her since before she was able to walk. I do not know why you refer to Katsune as your love, but I am certain she is not aware of you.
Chonjuko responds.
I can say that you do not know what you say. All of your words are lies to tempt me away from Katsune. But you are not aware that I am able to resist your false temptations, and I will always be with Katsune, no matter what other people, including you, think.
I'm just here to collect a couple things we left behind. I'll be leaving shortly. I would suggest you do so too,
replies Akiko.
But where did you put Katsune?
Akiko smiles, purposely oblivious to Chonjuko's request, sips her tea, and then leaves the room. Chapter 8. Chonjuko wanders the halls.
She must be here somewhere,
he mutters to himself. Chonjuko urgently skips from room to room, expecting to see Katsune around every corner he passes.
Why can I not find her? Katsune is supposed to be right here,
Chonjuko says as he enters Katsune's room for the 4th time. He comes across an employee of the building.
Why did you take my Katsune from me?
Chonjuko asks the employee. Who do you think you are? You have no business talking to me so sternly, child. Do not make me call your father.
But I need my girlfriend, Katsune.
You cannot see Katsune because clearly you are not related to her. Also, she is not even in this building anymore.
But where did you put Katsune?
I am not allowed to disclose that information to people outside of her family,
You do not tell me because you are jealous and you want to keep her to yourself,
accuses Tanjuko. You know that you are done here, right? Farewell. The employee, a master of taijutsu, grabs Tanjuko by the scruff of his neck with one arm and walks him over to the entrance. Tanjuko attempts to squirm out of his control, but the employee spawns with an even tighter grip, leaving Tanjuko even more helpless.
It is dangerous to use the tactics against me, stranger,
Threatens Tanjuko.
I am an unstoppable force whenever I am threatened.
The employee says nothing and nonchalantly drops Tanjuko at the front door, who initially whimpers like a dog when he hits the ground. Tanjuko gets up on all fours, and then he growls, a gesture that makes the employee laugh. Tanjuko did not fall because he was dropped. Rather, his anger and confusion overwhelmed him, and he lost his balance. Do not come again, warns the employee. I will remember you and do the same thing again if you do. Also, I will tell the other employees to look out for you. You are not allowed here anymore. The employee closes the door behind him and audibly puts the lock on before he leaves. Tanjuko is not familiar with the concept of locks on doors, so when he gets up and attempts to open the door to the building, he is not able to comprehend why he was not able to get the door open. Peering through the glass, Tanjuko is able to see the employee talk to the other employees about him, motioning towards him as he presses his face against the window on the door. Tanjuko's face is expressionless as he watches them, and as they notice him, they gradually make their way into another room, out of sight, away from Tanjuko's view. Tanjuko places his hand against the window, and as if he just heard the piercing ring of a fire alarm, Tanjuko turns around urgently, and immediately runs in what appears to be an aimless direction.
Katsune, she needs me.
Arms tailing behind his back, Tanjuko runs around the block several times, eventually managing to cross the street when the light happened to be green. After about 7 minutes of constant, directionless running, Tanjuko tires out and gives in to his recently acquired hunger.
I am tired and hungry and thirsty. I need to get something to eat, but I must find Katsune.
Tanjuko then walks up the street, into the nearest sushi bar.
Is Katsune here?
Although it is crowded in there because it is lunchtime, nobody responds to him. Tanjuko tugs the sleeve of a nearby sushi chef.
I am looking for Katsune. Have you seen her?
I'm afraid I don't know who Katsune is, so I cannot tell you anything that could help you, the concerned sushi chef replies. If you want, you can use our telephone to call her if you wish.
My father forbids me from using those, so I will search that room over there for her. I must find Katsune.
You are not allowed back there, warns the sushi chef. That room is for employees only. It is where we keep our fish.
Tanjuko ignores his warning and walks into the room, but trips over a bamboo stick left on the ground. He falls, but lands softly, flat on his back, right on top of a fresh bag of rice. Rolling back up with a moderate irritation, Tanjuko glares up curiously at a fish tank and analyzes the movements of the fish inside them. He does not realize that fish float because he is not able to see the water. He instead perceives the fish as to be able to fly.
Ah, yes. I know where Katsune is now. Thank you very much, Hideo.
Tanjuko gets up and exits the fish room with a refreshing new sense of awareness.
Ah! I am on my way to see Katsune.
The sushi chef watches confusingly as Tanjuko leaves the restaurant heading to a place only Tanjuko knows. Tanjuko walks a few blocks and eventually stops as he has arrived at his destination, his home. Expecting to find Katsune, Tanjuko walks inside to catch his father watching sumo wrestling on TV. He asks,
Father, have you seen Katsune?
Why would you think Katsune would be here? She does not know who you are. Why would she know where you live? And if she did, why would she go here in the first place? Questions his father.
My friend Hideo told me she was here. She must be around somewhere.
It is just me here. Do not expect to find anyone else unless it is your desire to be disappointed.
I will go check the kimono closet. She must be in there.
Tanjuko climbs up the stairs and heads past his room to his household's kimono closet.
Why do I not see you, Katsune?
Tanjuko attempts to tug at the pull chain that controls the closet light and narrowly misses it, despite the pull chain being well beneath his arm.
This contraption is broken,
he mutters to himself as he tries to reach for the pull chain again.
Perhaps if I jump up, I can get it this time.
Tanjuko jumps about 4 inches into the air to grab the pull chain, but messes up his aim and grabs onto a kimono instead. As he falls to the ground, he holds onto the kimono, and it falls with him, tearing through the hanger it was hanging on, ripping the kimono. Chanjuko's father hears the loud thud from downstairs and walks upstairs to inspect what Chanjuko has done in the short few minutes since he has returned home. That is incredible. Within 4 minutes of being home, you have broken your mother's beautiful wedding kimono. You know she cherished that greatly. I will have you take it to be repaired at once. It will come at your own expense, Chanjuko's father declares with disbelief.
Hey, I will leave at once,
Chanjuko says, as he takes the torn kimono and heads down the stairs and out the door.
Katsune was not even in there anyways. I might as well search other places.
Chapter 9. Chanjuko heads around the corner to his local tailor, which is located just around the corner from his house. The tailor there has serviced the clothing pieces of Chanjuko's family for many years, and he has become familiar with Chanjuko and has watched him as he grew over the years. Your mother's wedding kimono. How unfortunate. How did this happen, Chanjuko-san? Asked the tailor.
Hideo told me she was here, but it turns out she was not, so I bring the kimono to you to get fixed,
replies Chanjuko. That does not answer my question in any decipherable way, but very well. Let us see what I need to do to fix this kimono. I'll take it in the back for a closer, more detailed inspection. Chanjuko sits awkwardly on the bench in the shop, still attempting to figure out in his head why Katsune was not in the kimono closet.
Hideo is very reliable. There's no reason for him to lie to Chanjuko purposely. He would never do that, would he?
Wonders Chanjuko. He would never do what? Asks the tailor from the back of the shop. Chanjuko looks up. He notices the gecko tank and observes the small gecko eat a smaller piece of carrot from its food bowl.
Wow, that snake is very fierce, a lot like Godzilla.
He also notices the logo of a gecko alongside the tank.
That is just like Katsune and me. We are very inseparable,
he remarks. The tailor comes out from the back of the shop. Okay, I have determined what I will need to do to fix the kimono. Just come on in any time tomorrow. It will be ready by then. You need not worry about the pricing, as I will perform the service for free. I am very proud of this piece. I still remember crafting it all those years ago. The tailor sees Chanjuko staring at the gecko. Oh, that is my pet gecko. He likes to eat carrots and sesame seeds, the tailor informs Chanjuko. Look, he's out of food. How about I get you some food so you could feed him? The tailor reaches underneath his desk to fetch some carrots and sesame seeds. He returns to find Chanjuko still staring at the gecko. Here you go, offers the tailor as he passes the food to Chanjuko. Chanjuko barely notices the tailor, but still manages to grab the food from out of his hand. He approaches the gecko tank and puts his hand inside it to give the food to the gecko. Chanjuko slowly hovers his hand above the gecko and sprinkles some sesame seeds over it. Slightly bewildered, the tailor softly grabs Chanjuko's hand and steadily moves it towards the food bowl, telling Chanjuko, You are supposed to put the food inside this bowl. Let go. Chanjuko does not have any discernible reaction. Let go! Let go! The slightly irritated tailor says with more emphasis, as he gently attempts to pry Chanjuko's hand open to drop the food. He manages to open it with little resistance from Chanjuko in his minor grip. Now take your hand out of the tank, the slightly impatient tailor asks as he is already in the middle of the motion of pulling Chanjuko's arm out.
Wow, the snake surely is amazing. It reminds me of Katsune and I,
Chanjuko tells the tailor. Very well. The kimono will be done by tomorrow. Come in any time and it will be ready. Chanjuko exits the shop.
Tomorrow,
Chanjuko exhales under his breath, sitting on the bench in front of the tailor's shop.
That gives me lots of time to look for Katsune.
Chanjuko gets up from the bench to start searching more for Katsune, who has effortlessly managed to elude Chanjuko for over a day now.
I cannot wait to see you, Katsune. It has been over 1 day without you, and I cannot go on without you,
A now sleepy Chanjuko mumbles as he boards a bus that happened to stop in front of him. Chanjuko sits on an empty bus seat in the middle of the bus.
Too many carrots. Too many sesame seeds.
He proceeds to fall asleep. Chapter 10. Chanjuko wakes up 4 hours later to find himself still on the bus. Lost and confused, Chanjuko asks the bus driver,
Where have you taken me?
The bus driver glares at him and responds, We have just stopped at the fish market. The next stop is over by the hospital.
That is where I'll exit the bus to look for Katsune,
informs Chanjuko. Okay then. Chanjuko exits the bus, one stop after where he said he would get off. It turns out Chanjuko got off the bus the same place he got on, in front of the tailor.
Ah, the tailor. That is where Katsune must be.
Chonjuko enters the tailor shop to look for Katsune, and finds the tailor already working on his mother's wedding kimono. Oh, Chonjuko, I didn't expect to see you return so early. I guess since you're here, you might as well watch as I sew up your mother's wedding kimono. I'm actually nearly done finishing it.
Have you seen Katsune?
Chonjuko asks the tailor.
I have been searching for her for many days.
I am afraid I do not know who this Katsune is, Chonjuko-san, so I cannot tell you where she may or may not be, the tailor replies. Chonjuko looks on as the tailor works on the kimono, observing how he intricately threads the needle in and out of the fabrics he used to originally craft it.
Perhaps Katsune is in the kimono,
Chonjuko suggests, as he reaches for the kimono. Chonjuko, you're going to mess me up if you move the kimono. This is a very intricate process, and I don't need anybody interrupting me, warns the tailor. Chonjuko does not heed his warning, and reaches for the kimono anyways, tugging roughly on the right sleeve to inspect it for any signs of Katsune.
Why can I not see her in there? Hideo told me she was going to be there,
Chonjuko states in disbelief.
Maybe this is not the right sleeve.
Chonjuko, you're ruining the kimono. I'll have to do more repairs to it now. Chonjuko ignores him and tugs onto the left sleeve, inspecting it for any signs of Katsune.
No, this is not true. This cannot be. I am lost. Please help. I need Katsune.
Chonjuko gasps in desperation as he realizes Katsune was neither in the left nor the right sleeve of the kimono. He stares intensely at the now torn kimono, breathing heavily as if trying to find air in a room full of smoke. Chonjuko, are you okay? Asks the tailor, a visibly worried look developing on his face. Chonjuko moves his eyes over to the gecko tank, gazing intensely at the gecko inside, that he has referred to as similar to his love for Katsune. His struggle to breathe intensifies, gasping for air as if having to breathe without lungs. I am going to call your father over. This is not right, the tailor informs Chonjuko. Chonjuko tries to speak, but it's too difficult for him. All he manages to do is let out a couple of weak gasps, attempting to form a sentence, but failing to do so immediately after he opens his mouth. Chonjuko leans against the tailor's desk, the support from his legs no longer being enough to keep him standing anymore. With the final reserves of his energy, Chonjuko manages to pull the kimono entirely apart into two halves in one final attempt to find Katsune. But he finds Katsune is not in there either. Long beyond the capability of words, Chonjuko falls and curls onto the ground in the shape of a star and lets out a final whimper, eventually turning completely silent in what can only be described as a catatonic state. Chonjuko, are you okay? The tailor asks in shock. The tailor urgently gets up from his chair and kneels beside Chonjuko, who has shown no sign of any movements or life, aside from both of his eyes being wide open, staring straight ahead at the door to the shop. Chonjuko, please, get up! Chonjuko stays frozen as the door opens. Akiko and her sister walk into the shop. Epilogue. Chonjuko's breath lies still, the faint beat of his heart the only noise in the room. A commotion outside in the halls that is impossible to ignore shakes his bed frame. It is young Katsune, fallen onto the door, revealing Chonjuko's room to all the other residents of his building. Humiliated, Katsune lifts her head from the floor and blushes to see he did this in front of an unfamiliar boy, very beautiful to her in his own unique way.